What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I'm super excited because we have a ton of new products to test out. I have a full face of first impressions. We have some new stuff from the drugstore, some new stuff from high-end, so I'm super excited to test everything out for you guys today and let you know if it's worth your money or not. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already and click the little bell right next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's get into trying these products. Alrighty, I went ahead and zoomed y'all in, so let's jump into these products. So up first, I have a new drugstore product. This came out, I want to say, about 3 months ago. I had never actually seen this. I was in Target the other day and I saw it there and I looked it up and was like, oh, is that new? So this is the Revlon Photo Ready Rose Glow Mist. It's supposed to prep, hydrate, and refresh the skin. So I figured we could test it out. In the summer recently, I do like, oh, I just realized right now that it's leaking. I literally just saw that. Okay, so it's all like leaking in here, but that's okay. But in the summer months, I used to never really love like spray primer waters or whatever, but in the summer, it's so nice and so refreshing. So I was like, all right, let's try a drugstore one. Kind of sad that it's like exploded in here a little bit, but that's all right. So I am just gonna go spritz this on my face. I'm gonna shake it up a little bit, just in case, and then we'll do a little spritzing. Okay, that's actually really pleasant. It's a very nice spray, really light mist, which I like. It is scented, but it's not crazy scented. It smells very pleasant and it felt really nice on my skin. I definitely do feel hydrated. I look a little bit more glowy. So this was actually really nice because some drugstore like sprays like that can just be so harsh and that one really is not. Alrighty, up next for foundation, I'm really excited about this. So the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation has been around for a really long time. It's a very popular foundation from them, but they recently revamped it. They changed the formula up and they have a new version now. So that's what I'm gonna test out today. Basically, I remember trying the original and really liking it because it gave a very good coverage, but it was kind of heavier on the skin if I remember correctly. And for me, if something's really good coverage, I don't care as much, but I know not everybody wants to feel like they have makeup on. Like they want something that feels light on the skin, but something that's still full coverage. So that's apparently what this is supposed to be now that they reformulated it. It's supposed to be 16-hour full coverage, not cakey, lightweight. It's oil-free and vegan, and it comes in 46 different shades, which is awesome. So I have shade medium neutral here. We're gonna go in and try it. I am going to use this brush. I'm more of a sponge girl for the most part, but they do have this, the Buffer Airbrush Finish Bamboo Foundation Brush, which is what they recommend to use with this foundation. So I figured I would try it with the brush. Maybe I can do one side with the brush, one side with a beauty blender like I normally do, and we'll check it out. But this is what the brush looks like. So that's what we're gonna try. I also like with the new packaging that you can see through to the color of the foundation. Just makes it a lot easier if you're shopping in store, because the old Amazonian Clay I think was purple, so you couldn't actually see the color, which can make it difficult to, you know, shade match. So I'm just gonna squeeze out some of this on my cheek here, and I'll kind of blend it out with my finger first. The texture feels very similar to the original. It's like a moussey kind of texture. And I'm gonna just go in with this brush. This does have a slight scent to it as well. Today is just a scented face day. So again, I prefer unscented, but it's not a game changer. Oh my goodness gracious. This is very full coverage. So it is still true full coverage, which I like. Like if you wanna cover up anything, she's gonna do it, honey. And this brush blended out surprisingly very easily. So I do like that. I mean, I think it speaks for itself. You can obviously see the side of my face that has nothing on it and the side of my face that does. It definitely is full coverage, gonna blur out all your imperfections, so that I definitely like. Let's try on this side with a sponge, but I did really like the way this brush blended it out. It was very easy and did not take long at all. Just gonna do a little dollop like that. Spread it out. And I'm filming this pretty early in the day. It's just about noon here. So I'll wear this all day long and I will update the description box to let you guys know how it lasts throughout the day. But my initial reaction is that this is actually really nice. Okay, so I can tell when I'm blending it out with the sponge, a little bit less coverage. So the brush definitely helps to pack on coverage. The sponge shears it out slightly as it does with most foundations. So it really depends on your personal preference if you want something a little bit more sheared or full coverage. All right, so now you guys can see both sides right next to each other. I actually think I like the side blended out with the brush better. Let me know your thoughts down below. Definitely gives it more coverage and does not feel cakey or heavy on the skin at all. I feel like it looks like I'm wearing makeup. I will say that just because it's so perfected on the skin, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels very lightweight, which I like. If you're looking to shear it out a little bit more, then I would suggest applying with a sponge. But overall, I think the foundation looks very nice. So I'm definitely interested to see how it lasts, but my first impression is that it's really pretty. Blended out easily and gave me like a beautiful flawless canvas to work on top of. So I definitely really like that. You guys know, as always, you can use use code Kelly on Tarte's website, which will give you 15% off of everything, including the new foundation. It is an affiliate code, so feel free to use it if you'd like to. And check the description box down below for how this lasts throughout the day. Alrighty, moving on to the under eyes. NARS hit us with a new product. So this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Color Corrector. So I have shade Light right here. So NARS's Radiant Creamy Concealer is a very, very popular concealer of theirs. So they came out with a color corrector that you could basically use on its own just to brighten up your under eyes or underneath of the concealer. So we're gonna test it out today and see. This is what it looks like. I think that's like a little brush. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm gonna just brush it on. It definitely has that like salmon-y kind of undertone, which is great for concealing like dark under eyes. Honestly, that foundation covered up a lot of the under eyes, but I still wanted to see how this worked, how it felt. And that comes in a couple different shades. I think there was like fair, light, medium, deep, maybe a few more thrown in there. Not as expansive as like a typical, you know, concealer range would be, but they did have a few different options. I'm just gonna go and blend this out. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. I'm actually really impressed by this. This gave way more coverage than I would have thought. I feel like you don't even really need a concealer with this. Like it's blending out really, really nicely. Again, we do have that very full coverage foundation on, but you guys know me, typically I would still go in with a full coverage concealer and, you know, be good with it. But this actually gives a really pretty coverage on its own completely. I didn't expect that. Blends it out really easily and helps to counteract like any darkness. So I actually really, really like it. I really don't think I need any more concealer, but I do want to test how it works if you layer concealer on top of it. So I am going to do that for you guys. So I'm going to jump in with the NARS Radiant Creamy, the regular concealer. This is Light 2.3 in the shade Madeline, and just go in with a little bit of this just to see how they layer up with like another concealer on top of it. Bring a little down my nose as well and blend everything out. I really honestly didn't expect to like love that, but I'm like, dang, it's pretty good. Seems to be working fine with the other concealer layered on top of it. Doesn't feel drying to the under eyes either, which is really nice. So it layered nicely with other concealers, but honestly, I don't really think you need it unless you really want super, super full coverage. I think it was a pretty nice product on its own. Okay, up next, I am so excited to try these new Makeup by Mario products. It has literally been so hard. I've had like the box just sitting there with them and I'm like, oh, I can't touch them until I can film a sit down, like test a new products video. And yeah, I'm really, really stoked about these. So first new thing that I wanna try from him, this is the Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. This is in the shade medium, so it looks like this. And this came in a variety of different shades and there is a brush on the other side. The brush is kind of weird. Can you guys see? It's not flat. It has like these, it like kind of pops up, which is interesting. So I'm gonna test this out today. It's like a cream kind of contour stick. Normally I like to apply, like I never apply these directly to my face. I'll apply product to a brush and then go in, but I do wanna try using this brush that's on the other side. So I'll go in with a little bit of it, use this brush on one side, and then I'll use my own brush on like the other side, and we'll see how it looks. Because I feel like sometimes when you just go in, it can look so harsh, but we're gonna try it out anyways. So, going to apply on the skin, just a little bit. I don't wanna use too much. I'm gonna put the cap on just so it doesn't go all over the place when we try and blend it. And then I'm gonna use this to kind of diffuse and blend it out. Okay, not sure. Am I doing this right? I mean, it blends it out. I feel like whenever I put product on the face and then I'm trying to blend it out so much once it's on, it like moves around the foundation stuff underneath, which I don't love. But it did blend out pretty easily with this. I definitely wanna try it my way though, you know, where I just apply it to a brush and then apply to the face and see how that kind of works. So I just applied some on my brush here. And then I'm gonna tap it onto the skin. Okay, yeah, this way is definitely how I just prefer to do it. I feel like it looks a lot more natural, but you don't have to worry about like moving any of the product that's underneath, and it blends out flawlessly. This shade is really nice though. I definitely like the shade, and it blends easily and like sculpts the face well. So I definitely like that. I'm gonna do a little bit on the jawline as well. Down here, just to sculpt that out, just chisel it out. I think I still like the Tarte Breezy Cream bronzer better. That's like my all-time favorite cream bronzer, but this one is definitely very nice as well. And it does come in more shades. I think the Tarte one comes in like 4 shades, where I think this comes in 6. So there are more color options with Makeup by Mario. Okay, now Mario also came out with cream blushes, or like blush sticks, I guess. This is called the Soft Pop Blush Stick. So I am gonna use the shade Pale Petal today. have again the brush on one side, which actually one thing that I did want to share with you guys that I thought was cool is that this brush does come off so you can clean it, which is really, really nice. You don't have to like take the whole component and clean the brush. And I did just watch something online that he said he formulated the brush with these little like bumps in it because it helps to centralize the product and blend better. I don't know, I wasn't the biggest fan of the brush on the bronzer, but to each their own. I do think it's nice that a brush does come with the product if you don't own a different brush already that you're comfortable with using. Anyways, this is what this shade looks like. So we'll do the same thing. I'll apply, use the brush, see how I feel about it, and then I have another just little cream blush brush that I can use on this side to see how we like it better. So I'm gonna dab some of this on the cheek. This reminds me a lot like this color of NARS Orgasm, which is one of my favorite blushes. And I'm just going to blend this out. Everything is very like, it's still pigmented like in this collection, but still very natural. Like even with the bronzer, like it was pigmented, but everything just blends out to be very seamless, which I do like. But I don't know, these brushes I'm not a fan of. Like I feel like this looks pretty, but I would just much rather, you know, go in with my own brush with the product and then just tap on the cheeks like so. I mean, it's a personal preference thing, but that's how I think these apply best. And you get a little more color payoff that way. So you guys can see the side that I applied with my own brush versus the side that I applied with the brush on the component. So definitely like my own brush better, but regardless, the product is really nice and blends really easily into the skin, which I like. So I'm just gonna even out the sides so we have the same amount of blush on both sides. Alrighty, to set everything down, I want to try these new guys. These are from Bare Minerals, and these are their original mineral veils, but they made them in a pressed version. So I know like the OG mineral veil from Bare Minerals, I had that like literally in middle school. It was a loose powder that you like swirled your brush in the cap, but now they have pressed versions, which I personally find a lot easier in most cases. So I figured we could test them out. I have the translucent shade right here. So I'm gonna use this on the under eyes just to set down everything we have there. Comment down below if you still wear Bare Minerals. I feel like that's one brand that has a very loyal like customer base that don't wear anything else. In middle school, that was totally me. My mom brought me there, got me like that little starter kit, and I wore that every day on my face and it was great. And then over the years, I feel like I just got into other brands and sometimes I feel like I forget about them, but they do make good products that look really pretty on the skin. So I was excited to be able to try something from them today. The translucent looks fine on the under eyes, kind of just set everything down and in place. And these are slightly tinted, so I have sheer light here for all over the face. And I have this brush. This is the Supreme Finisher. I have to be honest, this brush feels kind of cheapy to me. Like the brush doesn't feel great, but this is what they suggest to use to apply. So I'm just going to set everything down with this. This definitely mattens out the face, like it makes your face matte. But as of right now, I don't feel dry or anything, which is nice. Not gonna really add any extra coverage or anything, but it's not changing the color of my foundation, which I like, and just kind of setting everything down. Alrighty, so that is that on the face. These are also completely unscented in case you wanted to know. I'm gonna go do my brows real quick and then we're gonna jump into the eyes. Alrighty, up next for our eyes today, we're gonna go in with this new palette from ColourPop. So this is their new collection. This is the Lush Life collection. So there's a palette, some lip glosses, which we're gonna test, and some cheek products too in this collection. But I thought this palette was really, really pretty. It gives me summery vibes. Like we have the peachy kind of colors, but then we have really pretty blues and greens and stuff too. So I thought it was really pretty. I love the packaging, very like tropical, lush. So I liked this little themed collection. I'm gonna jump in first with shade Eco and just buff this into the crease so we have something in the crease and upper crease area to blend into once we go in with some deeper colors. This is like a very light pale orange color, but it kind of shows up a little bit more like skewed to the yellow side when it's actually blended out on the eyes. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's orange or yellow? Next, I'm gonna go in with this burnt orange. This is shade Guava, and I'm gonna buff that into the crease and bring it up a little bit above the crease as well, because we're gonna go in with deeper colors to continue to deepen out the eye. So kind of just buffing that into the first color that we did. I'm using a ColourPop brush, or no, this is actually BH Cosmetics buffing brush, and it's very, very soft. They look like ColourPop though. I thought they were ColourPop when I grabbed it, but super soft and easy to blend with. So far these shades are layering nicely. Then I'm gonna go in with shade Noni. I'm going in with a smaller, denser brush with this in the exact crease area and just blending that right on in there. I like that this palette is both a mix of mattes and shimmers, so we can use kind of the mattes to build up the crease like we're doing, and then use some pretty shimmers all over the lid, which is what I plan to do once we get the crease to our liking. And all the shades so far are blending super easily. Then I'm gonna jump with the deepest shade in the palette. This is shade Eden, and I'm gonna work this into the outer corner and bring it slightly into the outer crease as well, just creating that depth on the outer part of our eye. To highlight, we're gonna jump in with Wildlife right here. This is the lightest shade in the palette, and it is a shimmer. which I love. So I'm gonna pop that in the inner corner. We'll probably have to add to this again. Ooh, this is pretty. It has like a yellow kind of undertone to it. I definitely really like this. But we can add a little bit more to the inner corner if we need to when we do the all over the lid color. But just popping this beneath the brow bone as well for that little pop right in there. I think I'm gonna mix together 2 colors all over the lid. I'm gonna do Hideaway first. I'm just gonna use my finger with this. And I'm gonna tap that towards the outer part of the eye. Ooh. So pretty. It's like a deep kind of bronzy shade. I love that. And it has like a lot of like red and orangey kind of undertones to it. So I'm gonna do this on the outer part. Then we'll go in towards a more lighter shade just so I can use as many colors in the palette as possible. These apply really nice. And then I'm gonna just use a different finger and I'm gonna jump in with the shade Hotness right here. This is like a lighter kind of orange. And then put that, oh my goodness, these are really pigmented. Dang, that is like neon orange, but so pretty. And I'm just gonna kind of blend them together towards the center of the lid. The past 2 palettes that I've tried from ColourPop, like new palettes, I feel have been more pigmented than their other palettes in the past. I don't know, like they never posted anything, they changed their formula, and I never really thought they needed to because I always really liked their products, but I found the last 2 palettes I've tried from them have been really like pigmented, buttery, blend really easily, and are like even more pigmented than I remember. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but it works. Okay, now for the lower lash line, I wanna do like a blue-green. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Monsoon right here. This is like a navy blue kind of color. And I'm gonna use a tiny little brush and pack that tightly on the lower lash line. Like just working it really close, like so. I love the color combo of like orange and blue. I think it's so pretty and goes with the vibes of this palette. Then I'm gonna go in with the shade Juicy, which is this shimmer right here, and a bigger brush, and I'm gonna buff that out on the lower lash line to kind of make this like blue-green shade that's gradient. So pretty. Then using that same little liner brush we used, I'm gonna jump in with On the Prowl, which is a matte green, and I'm gonna put a little bit of this on the upper lash line, just so we can use again as many colors in this palette as we can, and just to help to marry all those colors together. I'm gonna smudge a little bit of this on the outer corner and marry it with that deeper shade, kind of wing it out a bit, just so everything blends together a little bit more. Doing super colorful looks is definitely a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I feel like this looks pretty. Definitely really like this palette. It's really pretty and worked really well. And I like that it's a mix of kind of more neutral shades and then also bright pops of color, so you can do both looks. I just kind of tried to do a look where I could use as many colors as possible from the palette. There are a couple of eyeliners in this palette too. There's like a yellow one and then 2 green. So I'm gonna use the darkest green one and just place this in my lash line. This is the shade Canopy. I love ColourPop's cream gel liner formula. So I'm just gonna work this right on in there so we can kind of add to that green pop. All right, now for my lashes, clearly we need a little help in this situation. I have like a couple of eyelash extensions left on, and I feel like I look like Cindy Lou Who or something with these lashes, but MAC came out with a new mascara that this is supposed to be the Magic Extension mascara. This is supposed to make it look like you're wearing lash extensions. So I was like, okay, I need that because we got to fill these babies in. So yeah, this is new from them. It says ditch your false lashes. It's supposed to give surreal volume and length. So we're going to see. It's been a while since I've tried like new MAC products, so I'm excited to see they drop something new that seemed interesting to me. So cool packaging. I like that. Let's go in and see if this can help save these lashes. Honestly, this wand doesn't look like anything special, so definitely interested to see. And I'm just going to layer it. Ooh, it is, ooh. You know how sometimes mascaras smell like it's not like a scent, like they're not trying to like make it smell like roses or something, it just like smells kind of like, I don't know. Ooh, it definitely smells. And sometimes that can irritate my eyes. So I'm gonna layer this on. I can feel it's like a sticky formula, which I typically like with my mascaras. I feel like when they're too watery, they just don't do anything for me. Okay, I feel like it's helping make the lashes come alive a little bit. They don't look as bad as they did. We're gonna try it on the lower lashes too, so we can see how they just do on, you know, natural lash that does not have lash extensions on. I'm getting these taken off hopefully next week. I just got them because we had a couple of trips, but I don't plan to keep them like long term. Okay, it did an okay job. Now let's try it on the lower lashes so we can really see on my natural lashes how it does. There's like little tiny fibers, I can see them up close, that should help to lengthen. I do feel like with this mascara, less is more. This I feel could get clumpy very quickly, like very easily too, just because it is that drier kind of formula. So you want to go like light-handed with it. But it fanned out my lower lashes pretty well. Put some on this side too. Okay, overall I feel like my lashes looked like a disaster, so this did a decent job on them. I definitely want to try it out once I have no lash extensions on and my completely bare lashes, but I do like it. Just definitely less is more. I think you get clumpy easily, but it definitely helped to make my lashes look a little bit better, I will say that. Okay, now to finish off the face, I want to go in with this bronzer. So this is also new from Makeup by Mario. This is the Soft Sculpt Bronzer. So we obviously used the cream bronzer before, but he also came out with powder bronzers, and I personally like to use both in my makeup routine. So I have shade medium, and I'm gonna go in with this to kind of bronze up the skin. Ooh, see, this I really like you can instantly see it helped to kind of bronze. No real scent to this. Ooh, went in with a little too much there, gotta blend it out. This is really, really pretty though. And I like the shade, it's a little bit more warm toned. So it kind of gives you that sun-kissed look. So this I definitely like. Add a little bit up here. And it is completely matte, so it could be used to contour or just warm up the skin, whatever you like. I'm kind of using it to do both at the same time. And he also came out with new highlights. So this is the Soft Glow highlighter. I believe there were 6 different ones, but I am using shade Golden. I thought this looked so, so pretty, right up my alley. So we're gonna use this to highlight today. And we're gonna highlight these cheeks with this. Ooh, dang, okay. He said blinding, and that is what he delivered. At first, I feel like it's very subtle, and then you keep going, and then you're like, whoa, which is cool because you can really build it up and be like super blinding if you want to, or just be light and just go in with a little dab. You guys know I like to be super blinding, but either way, it looks really, really pretty. I like that. That was crazy. It literally like changes in front of your eyes. You like put it on, you're like, okay, it's like a subtle highlight, and then you're like, oh, no, she's not. She's blinding. The shade is definitely still pretty icy, so I would say if your skin is any deeper than mine, I would go with a deeper shade. I think this was like the second lightest one, because it's definitely still a little icy. Like I feel like it looks deeper in the pan than it applies to the face, but nonetheless so pretty. Like when the light hits it, it's like woo, she is glistening and she is glowing to Mars. Last but certainly not least, for our lips, there was 3 different lip glosses in the ColourPop collection. I think I'm gonna go in with this bright kind of red one today, or it's like a orangey red, and this is in the shade Vanda. So this is a gloss. Smells so good. And I'm just gonna add that to the lips. I feel like we have so much color on the eyes today, just so like a light wash of color on the lips is what I was looking for. You can definitely feel free to go in, like if you're recreating this look, with a lipstick if you want a more full coverage, but I like this. Just kind of light wash of color to the lips. I love, love, love the way these smell. All right, you guys, so that is everything. Definitely let me know your thoughts down below. Oh, you know what? Let's hit the face real quick with the Revlon Rose Mist again, because you can use it at the end of your makeup as well to refresh. So let's do that and just set everything in place. I feel like we tested out a lot of really good things today. Very, very excited. Be sure to click down below in the description box to check out my final thoughts on the foundation and concealer and stuff. But so far, I really, really love it. I will continue to wear it throughout the day though and see how it lasts in the skin, but it looks really, really good. Feels lightweight, does not feel tight and drying, and I've been filming for like over 2 hours now, so definitely a fan thus far. Thank you guys so, so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.